Final ending to 3 weeks ago. First part down in the comments. I had already talked with the porter of the building where my headquarters is, and I knew he had a 2-room apartment available for free. He also said I can use it whenever I want. So, I decided that night I needed it. I wanted to make sure my wife got the message of the meaning of respect. So I spent the night out in that 2-room. I called her telling her that she needs to think better the meaning of respect and she can do it on her own that night cause I was not coming home. And to tell the kids that I had a night shift. She started to cry and plead, and I just said, "Did I ever disrespect you? Well, now I will," and I hung up, shoot down my cell and dumped myself on the couch. That was the rest of the day. Just to clarify, I don't think that OMW was warned or something like that before meeting her. Understand that I was that day a bit stressed out, nervous for this meeting and things going on with my dad, and when I am in that state of mind, I show it. So as soon as we arrived, me and the OMW already didn't like each other. Guess it's a question of a look or something like that. Also, I hate people that are snobs and she is one of them. Don't forget that this meeting was made after OMW and my W had finished a previous visit. So OMW was a bit annoyed that we met shortly after and upon my request. That I was the one who wanted to talk and meet her. In her mind, why not wait for her next visit? And why not have my answers giving by my W since she knows everything? I couldn't tell her that I was there because I wanted to make it sure that the dates of the previous visits needed to match up with the receipts. So that's the reason for the what's the pleasure of this visit. After about 15 minutes of talk, she came up and said what she said. And that got me mad, and I turned the table around that she might have a problem with her husband. Also, I told her that if I give the impression of being insecure, she gives me the impression of having an open marriage with her husband. Forgot to mention that before. During this exchange, my W was terribly embarrassed. Every once she says something like, "What are you saying, Frank?" My guess is that when my wife got the appointment, she might have put the reason all on me. Also, OMW has not wanted money for the previous visits, and I guess this also embarrassed her. Anyway, the next day, Saturday, I was already at work since I spent the night in that 2-room at my headquarters, and after 1 hour I logged on my cell. Sure enough, it was full of her calls, some even at 4 a.m. Then many messages like, "Please call back, I am worried." So, I decided to call my D15. It was 7:30 and by 8 she had to be in school. Says she has school. I gave her the good morning, and by the way she talked it didn't seem that she knew anything. I wished her and S7 a good day and hung up. 5 seconds after, my wife calls asking if all was okay and a mixed feeling of upset, worried and mad statements. I stopped her and told her that from now on I will show her the respect she has shown me, and to not wait for me this weekend. Tell the kids I'm sleeping overnight in the hospital with my dad, which was what I had really in mind to do. She was about to talk, but I didn't give her a chance, so I hung up and shot down the cell again. Did my morning shift, had lunch and went to the hospital to check on my dad. He was doing better. He is now out since last Wednesday, but whatever. We had a great father and son conversation that I will remember with pleasure. I didn't tell him nothing about the situation, and after a long hug I told him that Sunday I would be back. Then I went over my PI friend's house and gave him an update. Man, was he pissed. He also said that I can't never do his type of job. Lol. Anyway, he said now he will have other man followed at this point. That made me laugh. I knew that daughter had to go over her girlfriend's house by 17, so I turned on my cell to call her but didn't have time to dial that mine was ring. Guess who? S7 was playing in his room and daughter was at her friend's house, so she was alone in the bedroom when she called. She was crying and really upset. Even got me scared the way she was. So, I told her to have S7 go to friend's house who also has a S7 and call me when done, and I will be home to talk. So, when I get there she doesn't even give me the time to get in and hugs me tight, crying and almost suffocating me. We had a long talk. The highlights are, other man never attempted to get to her. He thought that my wife was worried about cancer. Until this day W never told him it was about menopause. Yet she did wrong not telling me, but her intentions were not to hurt me. She just needed to understand. She confessed that lately she had very less desire for bonding and was afraid. That's why she asked if I will always love her that nighttime ago. That the bench episode was when she got the certain response of menopause, and since other man saw her upset and not wanting to be invading her space, he was only comforting me to not worry and all can be resolved. That his wife is a great doctor and that she will take care of her, and to tell me whatever was going on. That the white face was only because she was caught off guard seeing me and knew that I might get the wrong impression. Nothing else. In a few words, she was very sincere, and also apologizing on every episode. She admitted that she might have crossed the boundary but honestly didn't think much bad about it. After all, we had a stable and fulfilling healthy marriage. So, I just looked at her. I said what did she think about OMW? She felt indebted towards her. She had helped out of her working hours. She had not taken even €1. proved to be a good doctor, but was in shock with what happened that day and was in total blackout. She said that she will find another doctor, and she did. As for other man, she swore to God to not go NC unless for work issues. This will be clarified on my next update. Cause me and other man did have a confrontation a couple of days after. So that night I went back home and my wife has been till now very affectionate and caring. And so am I. I was clear upon what I thought of her husband and what I thought about her behavior. She said I was insecure. I made her understand that she was too much secure about her husband. According to her, she didn't lie upon nothing. She just omitted the real reason why other man was there. She did not want to tell me straight out. I think I am starting to have a menopause. For her it was something to be sure of before telling me. Also, they know each other for over I don't know how many years. But she did admit that it was looking bad from the outside, and after my blowout she realized that for me it was from the inside also and apologized. Final update. So, when she gave me all the answers and was terribly sorry for what she made me think, also owning her faults, she was very affectionate. From that following Monday she started to make at home the food for her lunch break in order to not go out for it. She also seems pleased and happy for what I did, even if it was a bit out of control. She keeps telling me how she appreciates the way I care for her, and how stupid she was for making me think the things I was thinking. But then on Wednesday evening, while we were at home, I told her that I needed to do one last thing to feel totally okay, that I needed to have a talk with other men. She was a little puzzled but understood the reason. I told her that I wanted to do it that next morning. Never know if she could aware him before they start their work shift. I had to start my shift at 10, so I had the time. At first, she was questioning me for the real reason not to do it in a more comfortable time. Then she just looked at me and said, "Okay, come with me tomorrow morning and do what you want, but be polite." Sure, I will. Next morning I'm driving her to work, park the car, and together we walk to the front building. Shortly after other man arrives. They say hi and I asked him if he had a minute to talk, that I had the pleasure to offer him a cup of coffee. He said why not, probably thinking that my wife would come also. And I think that my wife was thinking the same thing until I told her, "Okay honey, I will see you back home. Come other man, there's a bar right there." Saw my wife nodding her head and smiling while she was going in. So, we get in and sit in at a table, and the first thing I told him was if he knew why I wanted to talk. He said that he had an idea, that his wife informed him about the last visit, and that he thought it was not that the case. Before letting him finish, I popped in and said to him, "Well, I think that I was not the case to be so friendly with my wife, that if some other man was to do the same with his wife, if he would be okay with that." He answered in a classic way, that he trusted his wife and that they did not have problems of any sort. I told him that I trust my wife also, but that I didn't like him nor his wife, that from now on to mind his own business or I will be taking care of his. I was talking in a calm and firmly voice. He started to say that he has only friendly intentions and never second intentions. So, I told him, then don't you ever try being affectionate like you have been when on day 20 you were at a bench on X Street. He looked shocked, and I went on saying that I know more than what he thinks, and that the next time we wouldn't be having a coffee to put the things in clear. Then I asked if he thinks it's okay for a married person to be so concerned with another married person. He apologized, wasn't his intentions to create problems, and that he would only keep a professional attitude and nothing else. I said I know you will, and I will know if you won't. He also said that maybe he was taking too much at heart the situation and was sorry for the problems caused. I just told him that now there are not any problems, but if in the future there will be, then they won't see it coming. He asked if I was threatening him, that he is a public investigator. I said no, I'm just warning you, and that I am a public armed guard man, that I can become a private bad guy for him. Got both up from the table, and he said that there is no reason to be harsh on each other, and that he will stand back and mind his own business. I said good, we both will have loner lives. Without shaking hands, we said bye, and I added that I will find out if he is saying the truth when I get home again with my wife. So let's see how serious you're taking this. Then we left. Anyway, I do realize that many thinks that I'm being gaslighted, but it's not the impression that I have. Maybe she felt good with the attentions, but I don't think it was for bonding or looking for an affair. Many women give me the looks and I just smile back. It makes me feel good, but for sure I won't ask them to have a drink. And that's where my wife realized her mistake. Even if it was a good friend, coworker of years, it still was bad, and she apologized many times for this. What I can say now is that for me our marriage has been great. I met her when she was 18, and before me, she had not even kissed another man in her life. I am, for many might not be true, her first and only in every way. I pulled her out of her shell and gave her the confidence to become a woman in career in society. Since her only world was only church, home and householding. Never been jealous of her, and I gave her all the trust a normal husband does not give. I am no Mr. Wonderful, but I am not certainly freaking out or controlling that case. We got engaged after 5 years of dating. She was 23, I was 27. and 1 year after we got married. We had no debts, but with only 2k of euro in bank. All we have was made on our own, no help from neither of our parents. Then when she was 25 came our first D. This was with the following 4 years the best period of our lives. Together we not only made it on our own growing the baby and taking care of the house, but also found the way to take care of our parents that started to have health problems, and also many friends that were having marital problems, saving literally their marriage. We had a hard time when Dee was 5 years old because the second baby that we were trying to have just didn't arrive. But when we were about to give up, a couple of years after she was pregnant of us, this was a new fuel injection for both of us. She was 32 and I was 36 when this happened. Now that we are together almost 18 years, this is the first case of suspicious behavior ever. She was never controlled by me. I never laid a hand on her. We barely fought. Kids didn't stress us and work was always okay. 1 month later, it has been a very hard period. My father almost didn't make it. And in that same time my mother also had her problems. For 2 weeks I had both of them recovered in 2 different hospitals. Leave it to you all what kind of stress that was. Now they are both back home, but full of suffering. Every weekend I visit them and try to help as much as I can. I call them twice a day when I'm not there. All this situation has reflected negatively on me. The only light that made me relax was my D5 and my S8. Turned 8 years the 25 of April. The rest was just something that annoyed me. Work, friends, hobbies, and also my wife. She says that all there is to know I already know. My best friend and others couldn't prove otherwise. So, I just need to accept and acknowledge that she only crossed some boundaries, but in good faith and no second feelings. Yeah, but why can't I have that feeling of total commitment I once had with her? My side, not hers. She has been very close to me in these rough days, taking care of the kids in the house while working a full-time job and while I have been running from hospital to another between my breaks and at night off work. Even take care of my parents' clothes, washing them, and many other things. Now since both my parents are back home since the 4th of May, life is going back to normal. The problem is that I seem changed. I'm working on myself to get better. Yes, she sees me different. At first thought it was for my parents, but when I didn't do the usual with her she realized that I had back thoughts of what had happened. She is always nice and understanding, gives me a break with the housework and kids and tries to talk often. Don't know if she continues to have lunch with other man, but she calls me every day on her break, and she knows that I better not see him around, especially in this period of my life. Must say that she has been looking for other offices to transfer without me telling her. A couple of days ago she said to me that they were looking for personnel in another building on the opposite side where she works now. My answer was, "So, what are you waiting for?" She looked surprised and said that she will check it out. I'm just a little numb. Yes, she has done many things. As a new doctor, is about to change her service department and has eased my daily family work. She embraces me every evening and our kids enjoy joining us. Story 2. Family, friends are trying their best, but it seems they are every bit as confused, disappointed, hurt and angry as I am. No one seems to be able to make any sense of what is happening between H and I. A little backstory first. We've been married for almost 24 years. Met 25 years ago. We have 2 kids. Our son is 23 and getting married in October. Our daughter will be 18 in less than 2 months. Until recently we had our own trucking business. He's been driving for about 20 years, mostly local and regional, until we went on our own about 11 years ago. I left my job in logistics to run the office from home. Financial downturn started a few years ago and has just gotten progressively worse. In 2009, my health was in jeopardy, diagnosed with a brain tumor. Benign, and had surgery to remove it in October of that year. I suffered with double vision for nearly a year. Being right-handed, the surgery affected my right side and nearly destroyed my handwriting. Walking, driving, even doing the simplest tasks are so difficult. I've adapted to using my left hand for most everything. The doctors told me 4 things could happen. If the tumor was left untreated, it would kill me eventually. The surgery could either kill me, result in a coma, or be successful. Thank God it was the latter result. Currently I am waiting for a hearing date on disability. It's been almost 2 years on that. Now to the disaster that is unfolding. About a month ago, H informed me, by phone, that he no longer wanted to be married. He has chosen to live in his truck, staying on the road to earn money. After being at home to take care of me as I recovered and seeing the business fall apart, he had to lease on and get to work on the road again. In doing so, me and our daughter are losing our home, a rental on the Gulf of Mexico, our vehicle, and I have no income to support us. H says once the money starts coming in again, he will pay for a place for us to live, get another vehicle, etc. In the meantime, we lose everything. He refuses to go the MC route, but continues to tell me and both kids that I am his best friend and that he still loves me, but altogether now is not in love with me. We have been through just about every conceivable hardship there is. Why is the 25 years we have together not worth his effort to save? No one, not his family, understands this. I'm just looking for ways to get through this and keep some semblance of my sanity, grace, and even humor. A month later, my son called his dad, chewing him out but good, and advised him that Dad had best not bring anybody to the wedding with him. A few choice words were used, and even some threats as to what son would do if Dad brought a guest to the wedding. Their phone call happened before I ever told my son what was happening. Daughter is extremely mad, angry at her dad as well. We only have a couple of more days to finish packing, cleaning, and get out. She seems to be looking forward to leaving the house. Bad memories, I guess. I'm debating composing, sending an email to mother-in-law. Talked to her a few days ago. Entire family expressed concern but haven't heard a peep from them since. Detected a certain amount of rationalization for his decision to violate marriage vows and trust. Seems MIL had done similar thing in the past. I don't think he set out to find someone else. It just happened. Pardon me, but bull crap. He also told me that he wanted to tell me about the OW face-to-face. And just when would that be? H hasn't been home since the end of Feb. Been using the truck driving thing as the excuse for that. I'm feeling stronger and more determined by the day. I will survive and rise above this crap. I feel so alone today. This has not been one of the better days. I find myself breaking into tears even while folding laundry. I see this as the biggest fail of my life. I've been left homeless, no source of income for the foreseeable future. And I guess hopeless too. Just don't know what to do, where to turn, nothing. Seems that nothing can be done without money, and until this disability thing is settled, I can't do anything. I can't even look at pics of H without feeling a stab to the heart. Doing the 180, and it just seems to make things easier for him. Not me. I continue enacting the 180 and doing a pretty good job at it. I did send H a text a few days ago, but it only concerned our pickup truck. He has yet to provide the financial assistance that he so heroically promised. I have been stretching the little bit of cash that was made nearly a month ago when me and the kids, had a forced yard sale. But it's about to run out. Haven't seen H since Feb. He does contact the kids periodically, but as my son now says, only when H needs something done for him. Yes, he's too chicken to call me directly. My family has been as helpful as they can be. His, not at all. Come the 1st of June, we, daughter and I, must find other arrangements for her dog that's being kept by friends but only temporarily. Our other dog is with me. She's 10 years old and pretty mellow. The other is just over a year and too rowdy to be here with 2 dogs and 2 cats. So unfair to daughter to have to give him up when she's already given up so much. I feel like H is enjoying the footloose and fancy-free life now. He is not having to witness firsthand the carnage and devastation he is leaving in his wake. Out of sight, out of mind. I continue to try to get myself on track. Still cannot eat much if at all. I don't recommend this diet, although between the surgery and now this it has been most effective. Now mid-July and all I can say is let me off of this roller coaster and now. Don't get me wrong here. I love roller coasters, just not this emotional kind. I've ridden them all from Disney to Busch Gardens to Universal. After all, I live in Central Florida. But this one is not for the faint of heart. Had good days, had bad days, non-stop pain and tears. Today, so far, has been good. Keep having roadblocks thrown in my path, but working to get over or around them. H has been in contact, both calls and texts. He's made it abundantly clear that he does not ever want us to be H and W again. Friends, yes, always according to him, even close friends. We do have 25 years of history together. He'll be down in Oct for the wedding, taking a week off. Has said he wants us to hang out, spend time together. Even go to some of our old haunts on the river. I just don't know, feeling ambivalent. I understand he sees no chance of that's what he says right now, knowing that he is prone to changing his mind with the next gust of wind. I'm keeping busy with trying to regain my independence, in lots of ways. Job hunting, studying yoga, meditation, reading, wedding planning, writing, whatever will distract my mind from unpleasant thoughts. Got my license, ready to drive again. Problem is I still don't have anything to drive. Intense car hunting has been underway for a couple of weeks. Had a job interview for a job in my field, but alas, I didn't get it. Job hunting is as intense as the car hunting. Dee Dee is currently visiting STBXH in New Jersey. She seems to be miserable. Can't wait to get back home. I'm not asking her any questions about the Don't want to know a damn thing on that front. Just knowing that she exists is more than I wanted to know. Dee Dee will be home right after Labor Day. STBXH can't seem to go more than a week without calling me. He asked me why I don't call him, that I can call him anytime. Is it not obvious why I don't call him? Seems weird that he calls me so much. Why not call the insert descriptive adjective of your choice? Then in the same breath he tries to discuss the divorce. Now the really good news. I'm going to be a grandma. My son and his fiancée told us moms yesterday. My first, October 15th. My son's wedding was yesterday. Beautiful ceremony on the beach with a gorgeous Florida sunset on the Gulf. I, naturally, teared up. The reception was at their house, outside under a canopy tent, and went pretty well. As receptions go, no shortage of excitement, family drama, etc. all the time, and work that I and my daughter-in-law's mom put into everything showed in our kids' faces through non-stop smiles. As for the STBXH, he arrived last Sat night. Didn't see him until Monday, which also was his birthday. I kept myself in check all week. No fighting, no tears, at least not around him. Basically the 180 in person. I felt pretty good about how I handled all of it. Even when he presented me with the divorce agreement, I looked it over, made some changes, additions, and gave it back. He had a problem with the money and time terms. I am holding fast to it. I informed him that we could let a judge decide everything. He tried to argue that I might get less than what he is offering. The reality is that right now there has been no forward progress on the divorce. He did seem somewhat surprised, can't think of the right word, by the weight loss, haircut, and color. My overall appearance, each time I knew I'd be seeing him, I made sure I looked good, pulling out all the stops for the wedding. November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. What can I say? Things are pretty much at a standstill as far as either a settlement or straight divorce. Neither of us can afford to file and get a court-style divorce. I've gone back and forth a few times with an agreement, but he hasn't responded to the last one I sent. The biggest battle seems to be focused on the DD. I'm moving this coming weekend. She doesn't want to go to that particular place. Keep in mind she is 18 and wanting to try life on her own by staying where she is with her friends. STBXH is really pressuring her to go to New Jersey. I'm just trying to be supportive of and for her. Never mind how I feel about him. What a quandary this is. On the brighter side, my son and his wife have found out through sonogram that the first grandchild is going to be a girl. They've already picked the name, after both of us moms. She's due to arrive April 12th. Still searching for my grandma handle. Just so excited. December's update finds me now in another city. Job hunting is the main focus daily. It's not easy to find employment when you are female, 50, still recovering from brain surgery, etc. Not so much lamenting as stating the truth, but I do have plenty of experience, a college education, determination, and faith that I will rise above this quagmire that STBXH has so deftly pushed me into. I'm alone for the first time in 25 years, not even my dog. I had to leave her with my son. But on the plus side, I no longer have to worry if the toilet seat is up. It's not ever now. I've regained control of the remote, can eat what I like and when I want. Finally, all choices are for me. To keep busy when I'm not job hunting, I have begun working on a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle of my favorite thing, dolphins. I have also started a family survival history book for the kids and granddaughter-to-be. I've reconnected with my roommate from college and several other friends that disappeared when I got married. On the whole, things are looking up now. As for STBXH, deeper and deeper he sinks in the financial morass he is perpetuating. He's attempting to entice Dee Dee to joining him in New Jersey by saying he'll help her get a car and such. Looks like manipulation by money to me. She says it shouldn't make any difference where she is for him to help her. I've called him on his look at me and what I'm doing routine. So much that could be said about him. By me, his own kids, his family, but I just don't even waste my breath anymore. To anyone. We all know him and he seems to be opting to cut himself out of everyone's life. That is except the piece of crap he has taken up with. Divorce still not filed. No money to do so. No agreement on the settlement. But going forward myself as best as I can right now. In time, things will change. January. I've done more than the occasional glance back, replaying some things in my mind's eye. Looking at things with a perhaps more jaded perspective. Not major events, rather very small, seemingly inconsequential things that now make me go things that aren't really worthy of a second. Closer look now. Close to 48 hours since I received the first of 3 emails from STBX. I think my silence, thus far, is making him squirm with discomfort. Maybe even a touch of guilt, definitely apprehension, waiting for the other shoe to drop as it were. Have to admit that I am taking a certain modicum of delight in this. Not sure how long I should persist in this, as at some point I will need to acknowledge him, at least where the taxes, settlement agreement and the like are concerned. Maybe sometime next week, even next month. All depends on me. I have control of that anyway. I have felt that he decided this course of action when the cash flow ceased, like my income-producing ability. See, when we first met, I was gainfully employed and he wasn't. I had my own condo. He lived in his parents' garage. I had a car. He didn't and had lost his license to a Dewey. Now I see the pattern of red flags. Over the years, though, he became a viable contributor to the home, life and family we were building. He overcame, conquered even, so much, and every time I was right by his side with unflinching faith. I willingly sacrificed my job to be his partner in achieving his dream of a family business. There are a multitude of events, good and bad, in the story of us. Hurts that it seems to me that he has chosen to edit and rewrite that history. Now here I am, attempting to completely reconstruct my life. beginning with employment. March 17th. Way past time to update here, so get comfy. Good stuff. Added the title of Grandma. She wasn't due until April 12th, but made her escape on February 5th. Exactly 1 week prior to my birthday. After spending a bit over a month in the hospital, she is now at home. I was so blessed to be there when she made her grand entrance. For once, I was on the list, allowed to be in the room, leaving in the to go and spend a few days with them and hold her for the first time ever. Not so good stuff. Still job hunting. Not sure what the negative is with not getting a job. Age, credit rating, the pits because of med bills. Or what? Had to find another home for my beloved lab. Hopefully I'll be reunited with her soon. Still no progress on the divorce. Have gotten legal advice, like settlement agreement, sent to STBXH. Now he's dragging his feet. Mostly the days are a little better than just tolerable, though the last few were not good ones. Allowed myself to be sucked into a text discussion lie, but I did very well at maintaining control of my desire to make snarky, sarcastic remarks. It was tough, but I did it. Continue to be utterly amazed that he keeps clinging to the "I love you but I'm no longer in love with you" refrain. Just own up to the fact you cheated. Live with the title and reputation you earned. Got email from STBXH, still dancing around the question I asked regarding what assurance there is that he won't put off the settlement thing again after the months he asked for me to allow him to get finances in order. So hard to fight my instinctive sarcastic responses to every single word he used. Keeps patting himself on the back that he is doing certain things, with no help from me. Excuse me, but I'm in this position because he put me here. And he brags about how he's taking care of DD. From what I hear from DD, it's the other way around. Hurts me that he never mentions DS in any way. With the duck, I'm contacting the lawyer to give him the go-ahead on the filing and serving STBXH legal notice. Unsure when they'll ever be able to serve him as he drives OTR, trucker, and is rarely in one spot for very long. This is not what I wanted, but a year of this crap is too long. It's time for him to either put up or shut up, as the road to he is paved with good intentions. I, once again, got sucked into the swirling vortex that has become communication with him. I only communicated this last time in reference to the settlement, but somehow he managed to twist it back to all that he's doing. That woe is him. Poor him. He was so busy bragging about how DD is flourishing, being there with him, that it seemed he had forgotten that he also had a son. Appears that little tidbit has escaped him for some time now. I pointed it out and told him to drop the "look at what a good father I am" routine. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Just that the she-bear got poked one time too many and the claws went flying. Fact is, I love both DD and DS, and I know they both love me. I'm proud of both but want, and they are both capable of more in life. They are the best things that ever came from our marriage. I fail to recognize who STBXH has become over the past year or so. I've acknowledged my imperfections and am striving to remedy them. So onward I go in my rebirth, feel like a caterpillar in a cocoon, and look forward to the day the butterfly emerges. 1 month later, STBXH sent a settlement offer last Saturday. Even though I find it all so insulting, demeaning, and personally devaluing, I will likely agree to it just to get this whole debacle over and done. I just can't believe that 25 years, in the end, means so little to him. As of late, more cheating incidents have come to light. God, was I just plain stupid all those years? No point in getting upset and angry about any of it anymore, as no purpose will be served by doing so. STBXH is growing ever impatient, even disturbed by my lack of response to his emails and texts this week. He wants my agreement on his offer, have sent all communications to my lawyer, and have an app set for next wed. STBXH has blown up my phone today with texts. Says my not answering must be my way of messing with his head. Okay, I'll admit to a certain amount of glee in this. Have to mess with his head as it's obvious he has no heart. I'm really just letting the lawyer handle it, but the side effect is fun. So, if the new year begins and I am officially single, then I have a cleansing ceremony planned. Hit fireplace matches. On a side note, it has been oh so hard to not give full rein to my sarcasm. It stays in my head, never makes it to print. I've seriously been contemplating a duck-off letter to STBXH once D is final and official. My comment: what do you guys think of OP-2? And did you like the ending of story 1? Comment down below. Sub and